Some of the most entertaining moments on the Joe Rogan Experience are when Joe Rogan gets corrected live during the show. It's funny watching him slowly realize that something he's been confidently talking about for 15 minutes is actually wrong. Usually these corrections come from Jamie Vernon, the show's producer. He sits behind the scenes, constantly searching Google to check if what Joe is saying is accurate. Jamie doesn't hesitate to point it out when Joe gets something wrong. Now, to be fair, Joe often shares facts that are correct, but when he's off, Jamie makes sure to step in. A great example was episode 1926 with comedians Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker. Joe said that one volcano eruption released more CO2 than all human activity ever. Turns out that's not true. Jamie fact-checked him on the spot and showed that volcanoes don't emit more CO2 than humans.
There was more CO2 released from that one volcano erupting than everything human beings have ever done. Fact-checked, volcanoes do not produce more CO2 emissions than human activity.
Reuters is on your ass, dude.
Yeah.
Jamie really holds the show together. Joe tends to believe whatever he sees online, especially on Twitter, so without Jamie, the show might be full of unchecked claims. Guests on the show often make things worse. Most of them just agree with Joe. Still, Jamie keeps the facts coming, even if it means correcting both Joe and the guest. For instance, in an episode with UFC fighter Bo Nickel, they mocked President Joe Biden for a supposed comment about the Revolutionary War and airports. But Jamie quickly looked it up and showed that it wasn't Biden who said it. It was actually Donald Trump in 2019.
He's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all. It's like you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how you could.
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple days ago? He was talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I saw that. Like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
What? By the way, the same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
Right,
What?
just for the record.
Is that fake?
It's not fake. He was referencing Trump saying that. Here's what Trump saying it in 2019.
Oh.
Donald Trump said something about that. He didn't say Jesus. He said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
Found glory across the waters of the Delaware and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like
Took over
that's
the airport.
you can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you can tell he like messed up his words, but yeah.
Sometimes guests actually stand up to Joe too. In episode 1762 with journalist Josh Zepps, Joe claimed that the COVID vaccine caused a higher risk of heart inflammation, myocarditis in young boys. Zepps challenged him right away and said COVID itself poses a greater risk than the vaccine does. Jamie looked it up and confirmed Zepps was right.
For young boys in particular, there's an adverse risk associated with the vaccine. It's like a 2 to 4-fold increase in the instances of myocarditis.
Yes, but you know what?
Hospitalization.
You know that there's an increased risk of myocarditis among that age cohort from getting COVID as well, which exceeds the risk of myocarditis from the vaccine.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true. Myocarditis is more common after COVID-19 infection than vaccination. But is this with children? Yeah, we're talking about young people.
Men and boys aged under 30 after this is what it says here.
7 cases of myocarditis per million at the same time following their second dose of Pfizer.
Yeah, so you're about 8 times likelier to get myocarditis from getting COVID than from getting the vaccine.
That's interesting.
During the pandemic, Joe was often spreading misinformation. You could tell that even Jamie was getting frustrated. In one episode with surfer Shane Dorian, Joe claimed that white men in Texas were denied antibody treatments due to race. Jamie fact-checked it and found no such policy existed. Joe tried to defend his story using a friend's personal experience, but Jamie calmly explained that one person's situation doesn't mean it's a rule.
A friend of mine went, and he's a white guy, and he went and they told him that they couldn't give it to him because of his age and his body mass, because he's white, but if he was Hispanic or black, they would be able to give it to him.
That's so messed up.
And he went, what? He goes,
That's because
so if I was
our country's white supremacist. A long episode of Black Mirror.
fact check, no policy denies white people antibody treatment. Texas Health Department says. There's a video of it.
I know, and the video says that. Well, I know. So they talk about the video in this, and then they reached out to the Texas Health Services.
Yeah, but they absolutely did to this guy. I know. Like, people are definitely doing that.
Did.
Maybe they're.
That doesn't mean it's a policy. It means that
Right.
person is an asshole, maybe.
Oh,
think
I don't
if
think
we've-
so. I don't think. You mean the person at the clinic? Is
Like
an
the nurse,
asshole for
whoever said that
denying
they
it?
couldn't do it.
But she was saying she was sorry. And it just was. This was the way that they had to do it.
Jamie has now become one of the best fact checkers around and seems to enjoy correcting Joe on his own show. In a more recent episode with Sean Ryan, Joe said Democrats get way more donations than Republicans. Jamie immediately pulled up reliable data and showed that most of the top donors were actually Republicans. Joe tried to switch his argument and said he meant corporations like Google and Facebook.
It's also like if you look at the amount of donors that donate to the left versus donate to the right. Have you ever seen that chart?
No.
It's fucking nuts. The left gets so many more donations than the right does. Like, it's a giant difference. Oh, what do you got,
shows
Jamie?
the top donors to
Yeah.
OpenSecrets.org. 6 of the top 7 are Republicans.
Oh,
Individual
interesting.
donors, individual.
Oh, individual donors. What I was talking about was like they showed a chart that had like Google, Facebook, all these mega corporations that were donating. So this is like individual donors.
The final fact check happened in episode 2271 with guest John Reeves. During the episode, Joe Rogan had claimed that the US sent $27 million in foreign aid to a fund linked to George Soros. He had said it was more than what Soros himself usually donated. Jamie had responded by saying that there was some pushback on that claim. When Joe asked what people were saying, Jamie told him that according to fact checks, the claim wasn't true.
We're spending money to like $27 million went to the George Soros DA fund. That's so crazy. That's more than he puts in. we were paying to get shitty DAs elected.
So pushback on that 27 million George Soros stuff.
Oh, really? What's the pushback?
That it's not true.
Okay, the claim that Mike Benz establishes in his research is that U.S. aid paid out $27 million in grants to the Tide Foundation. The Tides Foundation is a major funder of the Soros-backed group. Fair and just prosecution. Benz frames this as though it's evidence of U.S. aid funding fair and just prosecution. That seems like it is.
Even though Joe rarely admitted when he was wrong, Jamie had consistently provided the truth, giving the audience a clearer picture. In the end, Jamie really is the most valuable player of the Joe Rogan experience. Even if Joe rarely admits when he's wrong, Jamie helps the audience see the truth and understand what's real. And right now, that's more important than ever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such videos.